Alrighty, here on our 2011 Chevy Express 2500, we're looking at the EVAP system today. Right here you can see the canister purge solenoid as well as the EVAP test port. And then now we're underneath our 2500, we can see our EVAP canister as well as our atmospheric purge valve here, or vent valve rather. Alrighty, and so right now we have our engine is not running. We have our vent solenoid open, and we are currently commanding our purge solenoid. I'm just gonna increase the duty cycle to like 30% or 40%, so you can hear it. You should be able to hear that on camera. I don't know if you are. Alrighty, here on our 2011 Chevy Express van 2500, we have our here's our EVAP system test port, and right behind it is our purge solenoid. Right now we have our purge solenoid duty cycling. It's currently at 39% duty cycle, and we're gonna pour some smoke and verify that it comes out of the intake manifold. Alrighty, here we've got our EVAP vent solenoid here open, and we're filling the test port with smoke, so we should expect to see smoke coming out, and we do. So that's a good sign. That means our vent solenoid's working. Alrighty, now that we have our vent solenoid closed, you can see that the smoke that we're pouring into the EVAP system is coming out of the filler neck. Alrighty, so here on our 2011 Chevy Express 2500, we're looking at our fuel tank pressure sensor PID. You can see that it's in millimeters of mercury, and basically all we're looking at is how that pressure reading changes as we start duty cycling our purge and closing our vent solenoid. So if I page up here, we can see that page up once more. Our vent solenoid is not venting, and our purge solenoid is at 0%. So we're all sealed up right now. So if I hit increase, you can see our purge cycle went up to 10%. We're still not venting though. So if I go down here, did I go too far? I did go too far. So looking at our fuel tank pressure sensor, we're at 0.19 millimeters of mercury. We should expect that reading to go up as we increase the duty cycle of the purge solenoid. Let's see if that will actually work. There we go, 20% commanded. Oh, and you can see our pit is changing. Looks like we actually have pressure in the tank now. I don't know how that works. Let me check if our vent solenoid is open. Nope. The purge solenoid is open. So we just commanded our purge solenoid to go to 50% duty cycle, and you can see that our negative vacuum reading is increasing, which means that vacuum is increasing, which is what we want if we're purging. So right now I'm just going to hit the system seal button, and that should command our purge solenoid back down to 0. And we're just going to watch our pressure sensor PID change. So it turns out we had the fuel cap off, which did impact the results of our test, so we're going to perform it again. Alrighty, so here on our Chevy Express 2500, we're going to go ahead and play around with the EVAP system. So right now I've got it in this special function mode. I'm gonna try to pull a vacuum on the tank in order to see if there is a seal or a leak in the EVAP system. So I'm gonna start by increasing the duty cycle of the purge solenoid, and what that's gonna do is we are going to pull a vacuum, as you can see, on our tank, and I'm just gonna let it go for a little while, or until it stops. Yep, there it goes. So it looks like our vent solenoid must have opened. So again, pulling a vacuum, and once we hit about 20 millimeters of mercury, I'm gonna hit the system seals button and hopefully trap that vacuum in the EVAP system. Alrighty, so we have our seal, and you can see that even though our system is sealed, like our purge solenoid is not open, and neither is our vent solenoid, we're losing a little bit of vacuum in the tank. So that could probably, if this vehicle was equipped with a vented fuel cap, that there's a valve in there that's actually bleeding a little bit of atmospheric pressure into the tank, so that way, as a provision, to make sure the tank does not collapse or too much vacuum. So I'm just gonna, just for fun, we're gonna start increasing the vacuum in the tank again by commanding this purge solenoid. Hopefully, maybe I'll just have to hit the button 20 times. There we go. And we're gonna see what it gets to before the system decides to crack open the vent. Already, I just heard the vent solenoid click. So it looked like around 22 millimeters of mercury was the threshold for maximum tank vacuum.